Coming up, we're going to recap the biggest news stories of April on this week's episode of the DIS Unplugged Universal Edition. Hello, everyone. Welcome to this week's episode of the DIS Unplugged Universal Edition. I'm your host, Craig Williams, and today I'm joined alongside by my co-host, Ryno.
Hello.
Hello, Ryno. How are you doing today?
I'm very sweaty.
Good. Welcome to Florida. That's the state motto, the land of the sweaty, and I don't know what else finishes that. It doesn't matter. It's not important. It has nothing to do with Universal Orlando. That's what we're here to talk about today. And like I said, we're going to recap some of the biggest news stories of the past month. And we've got a lot of exciting things to uncover here. I know it's going to be a lot of old news for people, but you know what? We haven't shared our thoughts on them yet, so let's do it. Before we get started, we're going to remind you that this is brought to you by Dreams Unlimited Travel. If you like our content, you want to support us, please book a vacation through Dreams Unlimited Travel. It costs you no extra money, and you get the support of one of the awesome Dreams Unlimited travel agents. So head over to dreamsunlimitedtravel.com today for a free, no obligation quote. Okay, Ryno, we are going to get things kicked off with the biggest news of the month that I think you completely missed while you were out in California, and you had no idea that it was even happening. But Universal actually confirmed back earlier in the month that Poseidon's Fury would officially be closing on May 10th to make way for a new experience. And of course, Poseidon's Fury is the only remaining attraction right now inside the Lost Continent at Islands of Adventure. It was closed for like 2 years from August 2020 until March 2022 to go under a refurbishment. So then to close a year after that permanently is definitely interesting, to say the least. But we know Lost Continent as a whole isn't necessarily on the chopping block right away because Mythos is still going to stick around. Universal did confirm that the restaurant wasn't closing. I'm sure to the glee of many people out there who love Mythos. And I can't really make a joke about it because the last time we ate there, it wasn't half bad. But it's still shocking nonetheless, though, that Poseidon's Fury finally closing. We've lost the eighth voyage of Sinbad long ago, and that theater has just been sitting dormant for the most part ever since. And now Poseidon's Fury. It's the end of an era, a Lost Continent era. That's for sure.
Yeah, when you told me that earlier this week, I kind of was surprised because I had no clue. I was like, wasn't it just closed for a refurbishment for like forever? And now, so I was kind of really shocked, and I forgot about the theater until you just said it, honestly, because like nothing has been back there for so long that it's kind of crazy to me that there's this like little chunk of land in that park. So something new is always good.
Yeah.
Well, not always good. I mean, look at Jimmy Fallon.
Very, very true there. No, like the theater basically, it was used during COVID times as one of the rest areas back when masks were enforced, and it was a place that you could relax and remove your mask. But I mean, yeah, other than that, it's unless it's been used for like special events and such, it's all just wasted space. And I'm not calling Poseidon's Fury a waste of space. I know a lot of people enjoy that attraction, and this is a huge loss for them. But let's be real. In terms of Islands of Adventure, Seuss Landing, I feel like, is safe as long as they want to continue always doing, the Grinchmas over the holiday season. Seuss Landing is not being touched. Jurassic World has gotten so much love. Jurassic Park, Jurassic World has gotten so much love over the past couple of years. They might do more there, but it is what it is. The Wizarding World is what it is. Marvel Superhero Island, they can't do anything with it. I mean, they can just keep updating it and giving it love, but they're not doing anything massive because of, obviously, Disney and wanting to, keep a hold of that property in the way that they already have it. So really, you're just down to Toon Lagoon and the Lost Continent for keeping that park vibrant and updated unless they just completely, take over the water area and start building on all of that, which, I mean, maybe that's not a terrible idea. I don't know how much effort that would take. I don't know what they would do in the middle, but that is technically a lot of space that's not being used, is that entire lagoon. And yeah, that's really all they have. So Lost Continent feels like the absolute best place to go next in the list, because Toon Lagoon, while it is so outdated, you can't deny that Popeye and Bluto's Bill Dretch barges and Dudley Do-Right's Ripsaw Falls are, hugely popular, especially in the summertime. So they still have a little life in them. But in terms of the Lost Continent, obviously there was years and years of rumors where they were going to move the Wizarding World of Harry Potter into that area. Now the biggest rumor apparently is that it could be a Nintendo property, including Zelda, in that area. I would rather it be that than something Wizarding World related, but honestly, as long as it's relevant and as long as it matches the theming that's already in that area, I'm not saying replicating that theming, but Lost Continent is is one of the most themed areas in that park. So if they're getting rid of an area that's beautiful to put something that's lesser, I won't necessarily be happy about that from like a, just an enjoyment standpoint. But I as long as it's relevant, I don't care what they put in there. Sign me up for Zelda, sign me up for whatever. It's keep Universal fresh.
Yeah. Original property. I don't care.
Yeah. Well, the nice part is, we have plenty of time to still go over there and do Poseidon's Fury, and we will have to see if it will land one day in the DIS Universal Hall of Fame. For the longest time, it was part of our So Bad It's Good attractions, and maybe it's still in that case. But I don't know if it'll make the Hall of Fame, though. We'll have to wait and see about that. But Universal definitely will have the money to make some of these improvements, because just today, as of the time we're recording this, Comcast revealed their Q1 2023 earnings, obviously, versus the same quarter of 2022. And content and experiences revenue is down for NBC, Universal, and Comcast. But there's good news on the park side. But for content and experiences, that covers media, studios, and theme parks. The big loss in revenue is coming from the media sector, not theme parks again, which were actually up in a big way. The first quarter 2023 theme park revenue was up 24.9% versus the same quarter in 2022. And Comcast said that demand and financial results were strong at each of the parks, and they attribute the increase that they saw to international parks driving growth, with Japan rebounding and Beijing returning to profitability post-COVID restrictions, the successful opening of Super Nintendo World in Hollywood, which opened in early 2021 in Japan, and then Orlando continues to trend above pre-pandemic levels. And all of that means, Comcast, of course, is going to keep investing heavily into the theme parks that they own. Epic Universe will truly be epic because of this. Yes, Universal right now is going through some awkward times because of everything with their CEO stepping down. Jeff Shell, the NBC Universal CEO, stepping down. We're not going to get into that because, that's one of those nice things I will say with Universal. Like, no one knows any of the executives, so we don't really have to sit here and talk about it. It's not as important. The important part here of this story and everything with Comcast right now is that theme parks are up, and that's evident when you walk into the theme parks and still see how busy it is. Everyone loves Universal right now, understandably why. And it's only going to get better this summer when Minions come. Minions. Love Minions.
Minions. They're on my shirt. Or their thing. There he is. I was like, what? Reverse camera.
It's all good. Yeah, of course. For the listeners, Ryno is wearing one of the Roosevelt's Minion shirts that were released, so he will no doubt be wearing that to the attraction the first time we get to experience it as well.
100%.
Yeah, I don't blame you. I don't blame you for it. But in terms of this summer, yes, we are going to have a big summer with the new Minions Land, the Minions attraction, the eatery. That is all great and something to look forward to. But Ryno, did you know that apparently Universal is like going all in on celebrating Jurassic Park's 30th anniversary? Because I didn't.
I did not know this. I mean, I did see that like some brands were like I saw Loungefly had released is releasing like a whole new line of like bags and backpacks and stuff like that for it.
Yeah, a lot of people are. And I am an avid Lego collector, and I've been noticing that there's a lot of classic Jurassic Park sets that are being released. Like they're doing one for the visitor center that comes with the T-Rex and a Velociraptor, and
cool.
they're doing one with Wayne Knight and the spinning dinosaur.
Oh,
I can't remember the exact name.
Dilophosaurus. That's fine.
Yeah, thank you. And I'm like, and that set's only like $20. Like it's a small set. It's just the car, him, and the dinosaur. But I'm like, I have to get that.
Yeah,
that will sit proudly on my desk in front of me.
Yeah,
yeah.
That's a must.
But yeah, they're releasing a lot. Like they're releasing the Brachiosaurus, like the first encounter. So hopefully, I hope that the Lego Sam Neill will come with sunglasses and stuff that everything can be removed. So yeah, I don't know why I decided to just fill you in on all the Lego happenings with Jurassic Park, but none of it really dawned on me. I was like, oh, this seems like a weird time for them to start releasing all these sets. And as you said, Loungefly is going to have Jurassic Park stuff. I bet the shirts we're wearing, Roosevelt's, is going to have Jurassic Park stuff as well too. And apparently it is all a part of what's coming up, and that's Jurassic June, that will celebrate the 30th anniversary of Jurassic Park, 1993. It's been 30 years, buddy.
It makes me want to vomit.
I know.
I remember seeing it in the movie theater, so that's why I'm like, oh, guys. I was only in second grade, but it was still like, ugh.
Oh no, I think we've shared this before. Like you're a huge fan of the book. You reread it all the time, and I read the book it was probably 10 years ago now. I shouldn't say a couple of years ago. It was like 10 years ago, but I remember not seeing it in theaters because I was too young when it came out. But I remember the first time watching it at home, and just like, it was the scariest movie I had seen at that point, minus maybe Jaws, which I feel like I didn't make it all the way to the end where it starts getting really gruesome. But yeah, I remember being a little bit scarred, but enamored with Jurassic Park. And then I will never forget seeing The Lost World at the drive-in. And when it got to the field with the raptors, I was just terrified that there was going to be raptors running around our cars.
I was just going to say, I remember being so freaked out. Like, I wouldn't look at the center of the screen when I saw The Lost World, because it was just like, okay, I know something's going to pop out from the side somewhere. And I cannot imagine seeing that movie outdoors for the first time and having that feeling.
Terrifying. I also saw Congo outside for the first time as well too. So that was the drive-in was huge in Butler, Pennsylvania. That's how we saw our summer movies, and for the worst. So like now I look back at it, I'm like, I know theater projections, I don't appreciate it now till I'm at this age, but I'm like, I saw so many movies that were such a big impact on my childhood in the worst way possible, through a tiny car speaker and on a terrible outside screen.
Yeah, the sound, the design that they do in Jurassic, like I don't think anyone understood. Like, I know that the home viewing experience has sometimes become superior to the movie experience because of people, but if you can see Jurassic Park in a movie theater, like, there is no audio system that you have at your house that will be the same as seeing that. Like, this thing, I don't think they even still make movies with that same type of incredible design that was the first of its kind too. I feel like they don't celebrate that part of the movie as much as they do the other parts, but I highly recommend it. It usually pops in a theater for like $5 every now and then. I'm sure it'll get a re-release.
I'll add it to my bucket list of movies that I need to see in theaters. But continuing on with the 30th anniversary, we got a little derailed there. I'm basing all this stuff from an article on Attractions Magazine because I haven't seen it anywhere else, and that was the first place I saw it. But they're saying that the theme parks are getting in on the action for the 30th anniversary, that there will be special merchandise, food, and beverages at both Universal Orlando Resort as well as Universal Studios Hollywood. And on top of that, apparently they had the details on it, and I've seen rumors about it. So I would say it's probably official for the most part without Universal actually saying it. But apparently the summer tribute store will be Jurassic Park. So for the 30th anniversary.
Oh,
And of course they did Jurassic World a couple of years ago, back in 2021, I believe, when the movie released. But yeah, Jurassic Park for a tribute store. I could be down with that. I could.
they did it. They did it because of Velocicoaster.
That's right. I said the movie release, didn't I?
Yeah, I think
sorry.
you meant the roller coaster.
The ride.
But yeah,
release.
yeah. I would love that. I would love that because you already know. It's one of those, if you know, you know, because it's just so well decorated, and that means some like fun new merch maybe too. So I'm excited.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, we'll have to see how a new tribute store is translated into the space in Hollywood, because, you know, right now we've only had Mardi Gras in there, and I know you weren't the biggest fan of that, and you had some concerns about how that would impact future tribute stores with the footprint of that area. But I only went through once, and it was almost like, I don't know. I don't really care about Universal Mardi Gras this year. It never captured me. I never got into the spirit of it. But you know what? I can get into Jurassic Park, especially as a tribute store.
I'm going to be brutally honest right now. I don't think I've seen the parade. I don't think I saw it. I'm just realizing
we didn't watch it the night that we went. I did see it once, but I just was
I wasn't here when it started. Yeah, and then I went with you to watch it, and we didn't watch it. So I was like, I just forgot. Whoops.
Well, I mean, not to generalize it, I still think it's an awesome time of year that people should travel to Universal, and the parade is definitely a highlight. But, you know, you've seen a couple half-naked people walking through the streets. You've seen it all, right?
Mm-hmm.
Close enough. But so if that is the tribute store coming right now, the speculated time of its opening will probably be somewhere around late May. Obviously, if they're celebrating Jurassic June, I feel like they want it open by that point. But we'll have to see. We'll have to see if that all comes to fruition. I am one for it. But speaking of May, you know, May flowers bring pilgrims. Isn't that right, Mr. Massachusetts boy?
I don't think that's the saying, but that's fine.
April showers bring May flowers. What do May flowers bring? Pilgrims.
Oh, that took me way too long to get the joke. The Mayflower. Got it. Oh,
got it. Okay. Back on track with our children's humor here. But no, May's going to be a big time for Universal annual pass holders, and I know that impacts a lot of our audience as well as a lot of people, since Universal Orlando passes are, you know, always available to be able to be purchased. They did just go up in price recently, so I'm glad. Actually, no, I was just about to say I'm glad that we renewed our passes recently, but that was Walt Disney World. We are going to be paying extra for our Universal passes when that comes up. I think maybe I did renew it. I don't know. It doesn't matter.
I can't renew mine yet.
Oh, great. Okay, well, we're paying more for that. But anyways, May is going to be the host month of pass holder benefits, running May 1st through May 26th. And there's going to be a bunch of perks, including a new free UOAP magnet that's inspired by Jurassic Park. Did you see it, Ryno? It's got the UOAP with the claw through it.
Love it.
It's pretty good. Yeah, good stuff. Those will be available for pickup at the UOAP Lounge in Toon Lagoon, as well as the 5 and Dime in Universal Studios Florida. There will be dedicated pass holder entrances to the theme parks. There will be exclusive dining happening during that time. Dining locations, I should say, not exclusive dining, but you'll be able to dine in exclusive places. I believe like the upstairs of Confisco is a place that they usually open for these kind of little celebrations. There will be special pass holder rates at the hotels. They're going to be doing some food and beverage offers at the different hotels as well. They showed off apparently some of the menus of special pass holder items for May, and there's one like at Voodoo Donut. It's a whole lot of horchata donut that is a yeast donut tossed with cinnamon and sugar and a horchata Bavarian cream filling. I can have that. Sounds good. Apparently, NBC Sports Grill and Brew is going to have an avocado toast burger, Ryno. An avocado toast burger.
100%. We got to go get it.
Yeah. I'll go get it. I think we need to do NBC Sports Grill and Brew real soon. It's been a while since we've done that. I know we've already reviewed it like multiple times, but we need to go back there. We definitely need to do that. So maybe we'll do it during May for pass holder. Either way, we're going to get that burger. But yep, that's if you're a pass holder and you're coming in May, it's all going to be open to you. You're welcome. Not from me, from Universal. I'm sure they were saying you're welcome. You get what I'm saying. It's all okay. But that's kind of it in terms of the big news. So I don't really have anything else to go over that's newsworthy. The only thing, I'm going to put Ryno on the spot with this because he was out in, when a lot of this news did happen, like Poseidon's Fury, that's while he was out in California. And, you know, we mentioned during the earnings call that part of the reason why Q1 earnings are so high was because of Super Nintendo World opening. I know Ryno got to experience it, but it was technically, he wasn't there to work. He was just there to take it all in and experience it as a normal person. So Ryno, can you just say, was it like, did it live up to your expectations?
Yeah. So it was a lot of fun. It was a lot of fun, and it is like, if you've seen any pictures or videos of it, it is very much like it is that same fully immersive theming that the Wizarding World has done in their lands wherever you visited them. It kind of carries that through, even I would argue to the next level, because there's just constant motion and moving objects everywhere in this land that it's just so cool. I had a friend, I don't know, maybe it was CJ, who said that they were like, their brain, they were like, I don't know, their brain can't process being in an animated world the same way it can be in a live action world. And I was like, that's interesting, because I was like, this is literally what the game looks like to me. So I feel like I'm in the game. But I mean, he hasn't been there in person, so he can't really speak to it. But no, I thought it was, the food was really good. The ride was a lot of fun, but it is, I don't know. I think it's going to have some more challenges here than it does there. Because it does involve a pretty so you wear these things on your head that you have to tighten to your head that are like the base of Mario's hat, and then once you sit in the car, you have to attach glass to the front of your face. And then it's a whole, like, where does the bag go and all this stuff. I think there's going to be a little bit more communication barriers here than there are in California, which I feel like is true of both Walt Disney World and Disneyland and Universal Studios Hollywood. They, you know, it's different groups of people, you know, on the majority visiting different parks. But it's the theming of the ride is just so cool, but because it's an AR augmented thing, it's hard because your eyes are trying to look at the things in the glass, but you're also like, I don't want to miss out on the fact that I am really playing Mario Kart right now, like in real life, like this beautifully built attraction everywhere that you are literally like not really paying attention to at all, because you are trying to look at the figures in the glass right in front of you. But it does have a learning curve, so like this ride is going to have incredible re-rideability, and I look forward to being a local and being able to like visit that whenever I want, because I did go on it twice, and the second time I learned a lot more from the first time. Like the first time I did it, so you're facing off of Team Bowser, so you're trying to beat Team Bowser, and the first time Bowser won, and the second time I did it, Team Mario won, and I was Team Yoshi though. So this is my band. That you really do need these bands, or you do not experience the land at all in the same way. Like it's not like how the interactive wands work or anything like that. This is like an essential element to experience the land, because there are like 6 games around the land. And
would
Craig,
you consider that a downside that you have to have the band to truly get the most out of the land?
I've been trying to think about it, because it's like, I think that if you were somebody like our parents, or maybe somebody who just wasn't a Nintendo person or didn't grow up, or not a video game person or whatever, so you can still go up to like blocks and punch the block, and it'll still make the coin noise, right? And you can still go and eat the food, and you can still do the ride. It's just that without the band, like in the ride, you get all of your statistics from the ride, and then you collect coins throughout the park with this thing, and then there's like things in the wall that there are like secrets throughout the land that, like, if you're paying really close attention, that they're hidden really well, that are like just an M randomly in some places that's very tiny, and if you hold the band there, there'll be like a special thing that appears. And there is basically, so there's like 6 games, like I said, you can't play any of those games without the band. And the last game is Bowser Jr.'s Castle, which is this really cool, like, you stand in front of a screen and you have to like swat away bombs, and you have to like jump or duck over not Buffalo Bill. The Bullet Bill, or wait, is that a Great Big Mario? So I thought that was really cool, that last part, but you can only do that game if you've played. I think if you've not just played, you have to win the 3 games, at least 3 of the 6 games, to enter that game. So there's this whole element of like, not everybody can just walk in and experience it. Like, you kind of have to work for it, which I think is pretty intuitive and cool. But it's also, it depends. Like, do you just want to do the ride and get out of the land and move on? Then the band isn't for you, because it takes time. Like, majority of my day was in this land, and I got in the park, and this never happens. I was in the park at 7:45 a.m. Like, in the park, walking to the Super Nintendo world. So, and I was in there until probably like 3:00, and then I left to do a couple other things, and then I went back in around like 7:00, and I was there until the park closed at 10.
And
so
just correct me though, you did not have the early ticket to get in.
No, it sold out. It sold out. It fluctuates in price. It's definitely worth it, because I think that the ticket really does limit. That 1 hour doesn't sound like a lot, but you could literally just walk in, go on the ride, and you'll wait probably. I mean, I don't know what the waits are for the ride, but walking in upon opening, I waited on the ride in the queue the first time for 1 hour and 17 minutes. And then I did single rider when the queue was up to 4 hours, and I waited 1 hour and like 40 minutes for the single rider line.
Oh
so I
gosh.
waited longer, and you don't even see as much as the queue in the single rider line. So, but it was like one of those where I was like, well, I can't abandon ship. I'm too far in now. And, but I also was like, it's not, how often am I at Universal Studios Hollywood? I mean, I kind of regret, if you are going and you are thinking maybe you'd come back within a year, there was a thing where it was like, upgrade your pass for $100 today for an annual pass. And I'm not going to lie to you, I 1000%,
thought about it.
Regret. No, I regret not doing it. I thought about it, and I was like, it's $100, and I'm like, oh, that's a lot, and I don't know that guaranteed we'll be back. And now that I'm thinking about it, I was like, yeah, we definitely will end up back at least once in the next year, because Epic Universe won't be open before that. And I'm like, and so many people, whether it's people I know that live out there, or people that that we see in passing and our journeys out there for work, I know that we're going to end up there again. And so it's like, I should have just got it then. But
maybe.
Oh well. But they have inexpensive passes. But anyway, I think that when it comes down to it, it's a very small plot of land out there. Like, it is not very big. There were way too many people in the land, and it was too hot that day. So it can be a very challenging area to deal with. But I think that the one that they build here will ultimately be the best version of the ones globally, because we will have I believe the rumor is, at least, is that we're going to have all that Japan has. So the Toadstool Cafe, the Mario Kart, I'm assuming the Yoshi ride that
Ryno, I can interrupt and say it's not a rumor. Like, the ride tracks are placed. So we definitely have everything that Japan has. 100%.
Okay.
Yoshi and Mario Kart and that. Plus, obviously, the track is super visible for Donkey Kong, which I'm sure, me interrupting you're about to get to that too.
Yes. Yeah, well, so that's a good point, where, like, so I think we're going to have the most land, which I think will really add to that. And I'm kind of hoping they add more games. I don't know that they will, because I feel like it's easier for them to just like copy and plop. So it'll be interesting to see how the flow of that land changes, because what's really fascinating, if you're like a theme park person, like I feel like we are, in terms of like when you experience stuff, is that things are built all up on top of each other in California. So like when you go into the queue for Mario Kart, it's like the queue kind of goes up to another level, and then you go downstairs, and then you come back upstairs, like to get up. So it's all like, it's just like there's a lot of stairs involved out there to be able to do it. I mean, there are elevators, so there is accessibility and stuff like that. But it is fascinating. It is a really cool, unique experience. And I enjoyed it very much. I loved it at night. I thought especially in California where it's nice and cool at night. Like, it's crazy how hot it was during the day that then at night it was so cold I couldn't do Jurassic World. So I didn't get to do Jurassic World while I was there, which was a real bummer. But I told myself that Super Nintendo World was the priority, and then I also was lucky enough to do Secret Life of Pets. And you know what? That ride is adorable, and I loved it.
Woof woof.
I do have a tip though. If you are going there, the bands come in a thing like it flat in a box like this. They are impossible to keep on your wrist here. And so they're like slap bracelets. They really do need a thing where somehow it can lock or clip on the back of your thing. Cause as you move your wrist, I mean, I've been storing mine for a while now. Mine's finally bent correctly, but it'll start sliding off. It'll do like it'll separate, or one end will curl off, and you don't feel it because it's really soft. So a lot of times,
a bobby pin.
Yeah, something like a bobby's pin, or something, and you hold it. So I held it in my hand a lot. I mean, you don't want to hit this part, the circular part. You don't want to be like punching the coin with it, but if you have it on your hand, just to make sure you don't lose it, because if you lose it, that's really sad. But the way the app works and everything was cool. So if you get it, roll it up. If you can get it ahead of time, roll it up really tight and store it like with a a couple rubber bands around it to give it that like wrapped up shape to it. And I think that'll help you out a lot.
Okay, I'm going to I don't want to take up too much of your time talking about it. So I just want to rapid fire ask 3 questions, keep it to like a 1-sentence answer. Okay. In terms of Super Nintendo World going to Universal Studios Hollywood, if you want to really see it all and be in that experience, you would say you need to do it. You need to be there for a half a day at the very minimum.
At the bare minimum, because there's no way around waiting there's no way getting around the wait for the attraction, because the attraction does not accept express as of recording this. Unless you do a VIP tour, that's the only way that you kind of get around the wait.
Okay.
I think.
In terms of the power-up band, can one family, if they're on a budget, can one family just technically share it?
Yeah, I mean, you could take turns with who's playing the games, but you as one. No, I think you could all play the games if one of you had it, because there's one with a sleeping piranha, and basically one person taps the band to activate the game, and then at the end you all tap to get the points. So I believe one person could, but there's things like, I don't know that you could all. I don't know about Bowser's Challenge, because I can't remember if everybody had to tap their band when they went in to play that or not. But I think that you would still get some more out of it as one family having one band than having no band at all.
Perfect. And then what was the one highlight? I only want one thing. I know you ate a lot of food. What was the one item that you're like, I can't wait to get this again?
Oh, the food? Oh my God. Okay. The Bowser, and I think it was like a featured item, so I don't even know if they're going to keep it. It was like Bowser's, Fireball Challenge. It was basically like, I think it was called that or something. It was like a 1-pound meatball, that was a big meatball. And I got it because I love Bowser, and it came with a puff pastry of his face, and it had this cute. It's all downstairs, so I would have showed it off for you. But there's a plastic flag, like the flags that are in the castle in the original games and stuff. Like, yeah, it's a plastic thing, one of those right in there, and it comes in this big bowl, like with a lot of spaghetti sauce and stuff. And because it's Toadstool Cafe, like almost everything has mushrooms on it, so be aware of that. But the sauce that was on this meatball was incredible, because again, we're in California and they have a bit more of a flavor for spice than I feel like what happens here in the theme parks. And so like, it was a spicy meatball and I loved it. And I'm not a big meat person, but I tried that, and the dessert that was like the cake that's like the dual layer land thing. That was very good too. That was super good. I'm a little sad I didn't get the tiramisu, but I don't love tiramisu. But it looked like the question block. So I'm like, I think dining in the Toadstool Cafe is a must though, because I did sample some other food items, and honestly, nothing was bad. So I think it's it's like a really cool looking experience in there. So that's a lot of fun. So my tip for you on that is you can make the reservation for the cafe starting at 7 a.m. and not be in the park, because it uses like an open table. It's not open table. I cannot remember the name of it, but it uses an app like that where you can make a reservation day of. So you can make one, and it does not ask who the other people in the party are. So if you want to go in the morning, although the menu is always the same, and you think you want to try the entire menu and you want to try to go again at night, I would see maybe have somebody else in the group make a second reservation.
Good little hack there. Yeah. Thank you for
the merchandise. So merchandise is very popular, so do not expect, if you saw something online, do not expect it to be there, because there was literally there was these displays of like plushes for everybody. There was basically none of those. There was like a Luigi plush, a Squid plush, and like a ghost that you could wear, I think. That was like the little Boo. And nothing like Bowser oriented except for like this one t-shirt. And yeah, so it might be there by the time you're there. It might not. It's very, very popular. So it's one of those, if you want to get yourself all decked out, I would maybe get there even earlier, because I believe the store outside at City Walk opens before the park. So if you can do the entry ticket, get the ticket. You do not need your park ticket to buy that ticket. So you can just select the day for that ticket and buy it if you know you're going to that park, and then buy your ticket at a later date if you want. I mean, I would just buy it all at once, but I waited like an idiot.
Well, yeah, we make mistakes sometimes, and now, anyone who's taken the time to watch or listen to this knows better because of it. So, Ryno, thank you for sharing so much. I don't want to sound sarcastic with this. I wasn't expecting you to share as much as you did. But I'm sure a lot of people out there appreciate it. I know you're excited to talk about it.
That was only a piece, because again, like you said, it was a me adventure. But so yeah, that was just a piece. It was fun. It was fun. I will tell people it was a lot of fun.
Good. I can't wait to hear more about it, because I haven't even had the time to ask you all the questions. But I know the first time I end up there, it's probably going to be you and I together anyway. So I'll be able to live firsthand through you, just like my first Avengers campus, where it's like, hey, all the things you think you might be interested in, screw that. I'm just going to show you what we're going to do. Yeah. And you push me around for 2 days straight, 3 days straight. But and yet I still haven't seen the Doctor Strange show now after like 4 visits there. But I'll get it all eventually. I'm sure the same thing I'll be able to say with Super Nintendo World. I'm sure.
Hey, someday I'm going to do Jurassic World. I'm still mad I didn't do it, but it was just so cold. It was like 40 degrees or something like that at night. Like it was like 48 or something, because you're in that Hollywood Hill and there's a breeze going. And I was like, I can't imagine getting wet and having to go up those 2 miles of escalators to get out of here.
You don't want to catch a cold, then have it ruin your entire vacation and the thought of vacation in general. But seriously, though, thank you so much for sharing all of that, Ryno. And now with that, we'll go ahead and wrap up this show. We got the news. We got Super Nintendo World information from Ryno. What more could you ask for? Well, if you were asking for the final plugs of this episode, then that's what you're going to get. Because now at this point in time, I'm going to remind you, if you just liked what you watched or listened to and you do want to support us more, book a vacation through Dreams Unlimited Travel. Get a free no obligation quote today at dreamsunlimitedtravel.com. If you are watching this on YouTube, hit the thumbs up, subscribe to the channel, leave comments, questions, video suggestions in the comments section. And if you are listening to this, subscribe wherever you listen to podcasts. And if you can leave us a rating and review, please take the time to do so. But Ryno, thank you so much for all of your input today. Really appreciate it. Okay. Thank you. And thank you to everyone out there who took the time to listen and watch this. We really do it for you, so we appreciate all the time you spend putting up with our antics and shenanigans. But that's going to do it for this week's episode of the DIS Unplugged Universal Edition. We'll see you again real soon with another episode. But until then, remember, we still haven't changed the name.